Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen. This is Intentional Living, and we are going to be doing a net worth update for the end of 2024. Today is January 5th in all transparency, but I did put all of these numbers on here on the 31st of December. So that was my net worth as of the end of December 2024. And last year's net worth was just over $100,000. So I've decided to just do this once a year I used to do it every month. And it was just so much work pulling all of these numbers. So I am going to do it once a year just for you to be able to see. I did go through in my last video and count up all of my savings in my envelopes, which was $46,760. Last year in my envelopes, I had $37,501. And keep in mind, this year, Colin and I combined finances. So some of this is going to be an increase because I've saved more, but some of it is also an increase because Colin is now part of the equation. So what I'm going to do is go through each category and see if we have numbers from last year, just kind of what the change has been. So this year, obviously the number went up. 4,6,760 minus 3,7,501. So we had an increase of $9,259, which again, some of that is from savings, but some of that is also from combining finances with Colin, which he didn't have a lot in savings, but he did have some. And then I did add up like what we have in like some miscellaneous checking accounts, and Colin has leftover money in an HSA. He no longer has a high yield, not high yield savings account. HSA is the health savings account, and he is now on a PPO plan. So he uses FSA, but he did have an HSA at one point, and there is some money still left in that. So we don't have a number for this last year. So that is also, I guess, technically an increase of $227.65. So that's that. Also today I'm using a microphone. I'm seeing if the audio is a little bit better because I've gotten some comments on the audio being low. So I'm hoping this helps. Let me know if it does sound better to you all, and I'll keep using the microphone. So that's that. And then we have our cars. So this is not our cars sinking fund envelope. This is like how much they're worth, like trade-in value. So I get my number from Credit Karma. Colin got his off of like Carvana or like one of those other sites. So mine today is worth $5,550, and last year, 5,550. Last year it was worth $6,025. So that has gone down by $475. So, and I didn't have an amount for Colin's last year, but his is worth, according to one of these sites, $3,400. So our cars are both old. They're both 2011 Toyotas. So we didn't expect them to be worth much, but I did want to include that in our net worth. So my old job, I had a retirement account, and the balance as of today is $32,388.85. And at the end of last year, it was $27,953. So that is an increase of $4,435.85. And I have not obviously been adding to that. That's just through the market increase in my investments. So that is really awesome because I don't work there anymore. So I don't actively contribute to it. My Roth IRA, though, I did add money to it, but I did not max it out like I usually do. But our ending balance there is $24,627.65. And last year it had $16,088. So that is an increase of $8,539.65. And I think I contributed like maybe $3,000, maybe $4,000. So the rest of this is all just through market growth. So that's exciting. And then my current retirement, which I am actively contributing to because I currently work at that job and my employer is contributing to that, I have $26,257.53. And last year it had $13,356. So that is an increase of $12,901.53, which is obviously the biggest, which makes sense. And then I don't have numbers for what they were at last year, but Colin's Roth IRA has $11,000 in it. His retirement from his old job has almost $11,000 in it. And then his current employer retirement has $18,000 in it. So those are his retirement funds. And then he also has an investment fund that has almost $18,000 in it. So I wanted to include those in our net worth as well. And so last year, my total net worth was $100,923. And what we're going to do is just add up these numbers and see what our current net worth is as a couple. So our net worth now at the end of 2024 is $196,763.54. And that is an increase of $95,840.53. So again, 54 cents. That is huge, a huge jump. And a lot of that is because like none of this would have been included. So if I were to do a direct comparison, which is not super direct because some of our savings also includes money from Colin, but let's do like as good of a guess as we can get. My net worth personally would have been around $135,000. So that would have been an increase of $34,661.03, which is still a huge jump. I just don't want you to be like, wow, how did she get $100,000 extra dollars in her net worth? I didn't. A lot of this is just like including Colin in the equation now. So our total net worth now for the end of 2024 is the $196,763. And that change is just $95,840, or for just Kristen, it was $34,661. So, and then the change in net worth would have been the $95,840 divided by 109.23 times 100. So that is a 94.96% change. Or if I were to do 34661 divided by 109.23, just me would have been 34.34%, which is huge still. So I just wanted to delineate those two. And then moving forward, we'll compare like me and Colin's net worth to me and Colin's net worth next year. So I wanted to have numbers for that just so we have a starting point and a comparison point for next year. Okay, so that was the first part of the video that I wanted to cover, but in the second part, I wanted to talk about my goals for 2025 and kind of walk through those with you. So I'm just using a notes page from last year's digital planner, and we'll walk through that together. So I did kind of write some of these out through Colin and I talked about them and came up with a plan. So generally for 2025, we want for our weekly spending money, drinks, eating out, and groceries, we just generally want to decrease spending. So we just want to be more intentional when we're getting drinks out and eating out, and then we want to have a more coordinated effort with groceries. We just kind of functioned with grocery shopping as we did when our budgets were separate. Like I go and buy some things, he goes and buys some things, but now that we're combined, we want to be more intentional with our grocery shopping. So that's one of our major goals, is to decrease our spending there. I just didn't feel the need to like fix that in 2024 because we were still getting a hang of combining budgets, period. So now that we are in the swing of it, that's a goal that we have. Also, we want to save for our first home. We do have some money saved there, but we want to save more. We're not putting a dollar amount on it just because we do have the wedding this year, but we hope that any money we get from the wedding we'll put into our first home, like down payment kind of fund. And then I hope to throw dollars here and there into that as we have the funds. Next up, for our cars, because they are older, the repairs are getting more and more expensive every time we go. So I would like for us to have $4,000 or more dollars in there just at any given time. So that's gonna be a goal I try and work towards, is just, we have about, I think 2,000 in there now, just trying to get that bumped up to closer to 4,000 or 5,000. So that's that. We obviously are getting married and then we want to buy a home, but we do want to have babies one day. So we are going to start saving for a future baby. And so you'll see that in my next video when I do my 2025 envelope setup. You'll see that we are going to start a fund for future baby. So just gonna get started. We don't have plans obviously to have a baby anytime soon, but we want to have the money there for when we do make that decision. Birthdays, I did a better job now that we're combining finances to figure out like how much we actually need to save per week for birthdays. And this is going to be $20 a week to cover all the birthdays. And then for Colin's 30th birthday, he is turning 30 this year. I want to save $20 a week for that as well. His birthday's in August. So I just want to get that money saved ahead of time so that we can have it to do something with as we get closer. And then for holidays, we kind of went through and thought about how much we want to spend on each holiday. And that is also $20 a week. So that is a goal for us to save that much per week for holidays. And then for Christmas, we kind of went through and figured out everything that we want to do for that. Next up is Christmas. We were talking about what we want to save for each like portion of spending for Christmas. I tried to do a better job of anticipating all the costs this year and assuming that we are not exchanging Christmas gifts with each other again, because we likely won't with saving for a house. We need to save $35 a week for Christmas. If we do want to gift exchange with each other, then we'll up that to $40 a week. But I think before the wedding, we'll keep it at $35, and then we can talk about it once we get through the wedding kind of thing, and then decide if we do want to start saving for each other or not. Clothes, we do often do an annual like outlet shopping trip where we buy some new clothes. And so if we do that again this summer, which I think we will before the wedding, just to kind of refresh our clothes, I want to save $30 a week for that, just so that we have some money to go shopping with for that. And then our haircuts, the $20 a week has been working for us for both of our haircuts, so we will keep that going. So those are just some goals that we set as a couple just for 2025 around the budget. But then obviously we have the wedding. So I wanted to talk a bit more about our actual specific money goals for the wedding, since it is getting closer and we're trying to narrow in on like what we are actually planning to spend. So first up, we're going to start with bachelorette parties. So we both are obviously having a batch party, and we are going to each spend $1,500 is kind of the plan. So we need to save $3,000 in total in there. And that we should already have saved. We're just waiting on people to pay us back for the Airbnbs that we booked, and then that should be covered in this envelope already. For our wedding bands, we did just pick those up yesterday, and that was a total of $2,850. So that is how much we need saved in rings, which we do have $850 in here. I did move some money around to make it just so the exact amount that I plan to unstuff is in here. So we have that going for us. And then for outfits, that includes like Colin's rehearsal dinner outfit that he buys. And then like if I buy anything for like, we're going to have a goodbye farewell brunch the day after our wedding. So something for that, or maybe something that I'm getting ready in, that kind of thing. We'll pull that from outfits. So that has $1,500 saved, which we already have. I think I'm going to actually start using some fully funded slips. So I have made some, let's see, rings is fully funded. Outfits is fully funded. Gifts is fully funded. And gifts has $3,000 that we want to spend on the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, the people who are doing readings at our weddings, the people who are singing at our wedding, which are family members and friends. Our parents are his grandma and our siblings, maybe not our siblings, our flower girl, because our siblings are in the wedding party, so they'll already have a gift. Next up, we have beauty, which I have $1,000, which is fully funded. That's for things like my hair and makeup, if I get a spray tan, if Colin or I want to get like a facial before the wedding, any of that. That will come out of beauty. And then accessories is fully funded with $500. And that is for like shoes, jewelry, purses, Colin's tie, cufflinks, stuff like that. It'll come out of there. And then I'm out of fully funded slips, so I'll have to make some more. But decor is fully funded with $2,000. We are doing a lot of DIY decor, so all of that will come out of here. The beach house or house supplies has $1,000. So we're renting a house, but we need to bring like soap, laundry detergent, snacks, alcohol for the house, some basic groceries, some stuff like that, just to like fill the Airbnb with, because it doesn't, toilet paper, paper towels, stuff like that. So we just have $1,000 saved for that, which is fully funded. And then now onto like the things we haven't really finished saving for. This is like our like goals now for 2025, because all of those are kind of dealt with. And the goal for these is also to spend less. And if we spend less, we get to move that money back here to the ones we haven't funded yet. So first up is our welcome party, which we currently have $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900. So $7,920, $35, and $40. And that is not everything that we want to save. We want to save a total for the welcome party, $12,500. And that includes food, our bartenders, the alcohol we need to buy for the party, and like sodas and stuff, linens for the tables, the table and chair rentals. We're bringing in like a few vendors. So all of that for that. It's like a small wedding basically, for our welcome party. So that is our savings goal for that. And we are more than halfway through saving for that, which is great. And then our wedding reception is being paid for by our rehearsal dinner, is being paid for by Colin's parents, and our reception is being paid for by my parents. And so that is largely covered, but my parents gave us a budget to stick to, and there are a few things that might end up going beyond the budget depending on what the RSVPs end up looking like. Like if more people come than what we're banking on, we might need to contribute some money to make some of the other parts happen. Like for example, I want a trolley to take me and Colin and our bridal party to from like our first look location to the wedding, and tips for all of our vendors. I feel like that's something that Colin and I should pay for and things. So I'm being a little like overzealous with saving for this, because we just don't know. But I would like to save $5,500 for this, just to have the money, and then if we don't need it, great, put it towards the first house. But I would like to have that. It would make me sleep better at night knowing that we have it. Our honeymoon, we have spent half, or like paid 25%, I think, of our lodging, but we do need to pay the rest of our lodging for our honeymoon, which is just a couple days long. So that's like $900 for the rest of our lodging. And then we need money for food and drinks. All the activities we want to do on our honeymoon, we put on our registry. So I'm hoping that people will purchase those experiences for us. If they don't, we can up this or pull from our vacation envelope. So I would like to save $2,000 for our honeymoon spending and for the rest of the lodging. Next up is hotel rooms. We are paying for the hotel room for our DJ for the welcome party, as well as for our officiant. And so we need to save $1,150 for those rooms. So there's that. And then Rosie, assuming Rosie is still with us at the wedding, we do need to pay someone to watch her and for the whole wedding experience and the honeymoon time. So I'm just saving $1,000 for that, just because I don't know how much that will end up costing us. And if we don't get to saving that, I can always pull it from her envelope as well. So, but the goal is obviously to fund that. And then thank you notes and sending out thank you notes, I wanted to save some money for. So I'm just going to save $150, because we'll probably get thank you notes printed up, and then we will send those out after the wedding. And then I need to add another envelope, but preservation. I do want to preserve my wedding dress and some flowers from our wedding. So I'm just going to save $1,000 for that, because I have no clue how much it's going to cost, but wanted to be prepared. So let's add all of this up and see what the total is that we want to save for the wedding. So $3,000 to $850. 1,500, 3,000, 1,500, 2,000, 1,000, 1,250, 550, 2,000, 1,150, 1,000, 150, and 1,000. So we're looking right around 38,000. And we have saved currently, pull out my binder because I don't want to add up all of the envelopes. So 38,150 minus 2,2,394 is what we have saved now. So we need, or want, not really need, $15,756. And I still have, let's see, there's 6 people owe me still for the Bachelorette Airbnb that I pulled out of here. So if you add that in, we actually only need 14,000, and then none of Colin's groomsmen have paid him for his Airbnb. So that will be like, let's see, 14,100. That will get us closer to like 11,400. So we really only have to save like another $10,000 because this doesn't include the money we're about to get back from the Bachelorette Airbnbs that we pulled out of here. So as we get those refunds, I'm stuffing that money back in here. So we really need to save like $10,000. Let's call it 11,500 before June. And we have about 26 weeks. And we could also include July because these, we get married in June, so we'll probably pay for these in like July. But let's just call it 26 weeks if we wanted to be totally done. We need to save about $450 a week to reach this goal. And so that is why we are going to be a little more strict with our budget and spending so that we can make sure that we can put the money in the wedding. And then the goal is that we spend less than this in every category, and we likely will. So then we'll have extra money that we can put back into our priorities like first home, future baby, things like that. So that is the goal for 2025. I'm so excited to be in a new year, the year I get married, and stay tuned for all the great content around budgeting, but also my wedding planning. I did slow down like posting wedding planning stuff just because I've decided I kind of want to keep some things more private. Like I don't really want people to know exactly where, when I'm getting married. So I'll probably post a lot of wedding content after the wedding and as we get closer. So, but there will be more wedding content coming. So if there's anything you want to see, let me know. And that's it for today's video. My next video, I'll be walking you through all my envelopes and binders for 2025. And then we will kick off with our first cash stuffing for January after that. So thanks for being here, and I'll catch you in my next one.